right, well, students in here, some of us did well, some of us did okay, some of us struggled. But as I told them, the main thing is, number one, if you struggled, you know what you need to work on, right? You now know which types of problems you need to focus your attention and go back and rework, look through all over again in your supplement. Know which terms we need to study. Terms were, for most of us, a bigger deal than even the math. So we know what terms we need to look over to understand. We've done a lot of review of terms. You guys in here, if you need to go back and rewatch a video to re-drill terms, or maybe you just need to cover up your answers here and see if you've got them now, and then uncover them and see if you got them right. There's things you can do to help yourself master terms. Read through all the little blurbs and then redo it again. Whatever. You find a way to learn the terms. I do want to go over some of the math, because we've covered recently the investments and the business math, the profit and loss, but it's been a little while now since we've done insurance. Been about a week, a little over a week ago, that we last talked about insurance, and that will be on this test. So let's take a look at page 57 in your supplements. Page 57, and let's review over car insurance. That's numbers 27 to 33. If you want to draw a line under 33. 27 to 33 is all car insurance stuff. And real quick, Steve Smith pays $45 a month for liability. Class, what does that cover? Other guy's car. He pays $56 a month for collision. What does that cover?
Your car.
His own car if he causes the accident. And $38 a month for comprehensive coverage. Class, what that is?
Stuff that does happen, like
out of your hand.
tree branch falls
Weird
on your
stuff.
car.
Weird non-vehicular accidents. Bad stuff happens. Okay, so don't make this too hard. Number 27 at your seats. Find his monthly premium. What's his monthly premium? If liability is $45 a month, collision's $56 a month, and comprehensive is $38 a month. How much does he pay every month? Don't make this too hard now. What do we get? Joel, when you've got it, call it out.
$139.
$139 a month. How many had $139 a month? All we got to do, class, is add them up. That's all we got to do. Now, look at number 28. How much does Steve pay each year for full coverage? Remember, full coverage means all three kinds. Okay? How much does he pay each year for full coverage on his automobile? Each year, it says. Well, class, we just said he pays how much each month? $139. So, keep that in mind. Do 28. Should take you about 10 seconds, if that. If you punch numbers slow and write slow. How much does he pay each year for full coverage? Griffin.
$1,668.
Good. $1,668. That's per year. Ben, come on in and have a seat. We're on page 57. We're on page 57. We just started our review here, and we've got Mr. Smith buying car insurance. So far, Ben, thank you, sir. He pays $45 a month for liability, $56 a month for collision, $38 a month for comprehensive. So when it said find his monthly premium, add the three together. That's all we had to do. Okay? Then for the next problem, it said how much does he pay each year? Well, 12 months in a year, we just multiplied that number by 12. So if you went on page 57, write down these numbers for 27 and 28, and that way you're right there with us as we move on. Number 29. If Steve has no accidents for exactly 69 months, that'd be really cool if he went 69 years without an accident. He'd also be very old. But anyway, if he has no accidents for 69 months, how much will he have paid to his car insurance company? Now be careful, class. 69 months. At your seats, find the answer to 29. How much will he have paid the insurance company for this coverage if he makes it 69 straight months before his first accident? How much will he have paid? Let's go to Bryson.
I think this is wrong. 828.
What did you do?
Multiply 69 times
69 times what?
12.
Okay, no. If you want to go to a year, we multiply by 12. It doesn't say we're trying to figure out how many years. There's 69 months, and how much does he pay every month?
Yeah, 1,600.
Oh, that's per year. How much does he pay every month?
130.
So what should we multiply?
69 times 130.
69 times 139. And that'll tell us how much. Ben, what you got?
I don't have a
Don't have a oh, that's right. Should have told you to hold on to it earlier when you turned it back in. I didn't think about it. My bad. All right. What do we got now, Bryson?
Non-fat,
$9,591 he has paid to the insurance company. That's total for 69 months. How many others had that same answer, 29? All right, so far we're tracking. You're following along with me here. All right, number 30. 69 months in, Steve causes an accident, and it makes the other person's car be totaled. Yes, ma'am?
How do you get the answer for 29?
This is how much per month times 69 months. That's all. Just like we did times 12 to get for a year, well, now we don't care about the year anymore. Now we care about how many for 69 months. So we just multiply by 69 months, which would be 5 years, 9 months, obviously. But $9,591. Okay, so Steve caused an accident. The other car's totaled. How much is the insurance company going to pay the other guy?
$29,300.
$29,300, because they're going to pay the total value of that vehicle. Does that make sense? Now, that doesn't mean that's how much the guy paid for the car, by the way. That means that's how much the car is worth now. The guy probably paid $40,000 or $50,000 for it. But at this point, they say it's only worth $29,300, so that's what they pay him. Make sense? And Steve has $7,500 worth of damage to his own car. But he's got a deductible, class. What's the deductible? It's what he's got to pay up front, right? He got to pay $500 up front. And his deductible is how much? $500. So, the insurance company is going to pay how much to the other guy, class?
$29,300.
Oh, and I jumped ahead. I'm sorry. That was number 31. I didn't read ahead there. Number 31 asks, how much will the insurance company pay for the other person to get a new car? That's $29,300. Question number 30 was asking, and I'm sorry here, how much will the company pay Steve to get his own car fixed? How much are they going to pay Steve to get his own car fixed? And we'll get this from Luciana.
Wouldn't it be $7,000?
Good. Not $7,500 because of class the
Deductible.
Steve pays the first $500. They pay the next $7,000. All right, does everyone understand? Insurance company pays $7,000 out for Steve, and this is other guy. Other guy's car took it a lot worse than Steve's car did. All right, now Steve's liability goes up. Collision goes up. Comprehensive stays the same because he didn't use that, but his liability had to pay out, and they're going to get some money back now. His collision went up because he had to put a claim in. Okay, so his rates are going up. What's his new monthly premium? What's his new monthly premium? What do we got to do here, Corey?
Add up the numbers.
What 3 numbers do we need to add up, Corey? You're right. Add up 3. What 3?
72, 85, and 38.
Good. You have to look back at number 27 to find that 38. But remember in 38, that was his old comprehensive. That didn't change. But he's now up to 72 a month, up to 85 a month on the liability and collision. So what is his new monthly premium?
$195.
How many had $195 every month for his coverage now? He was paying $139 a month. Now it's $195 a month. Why? Because he caused an accident. And now they decided, okay, you're now more expensive. At least they didn't drop him. So number 33, find the percent of increase from number 27 to number 32. How much did his premiums go up? Class, how do we find percent of change? All right, so we got to find the change first and then divide that by the original. And this is quite the increase. Woo! But you totaled another car. Like normally the increases are around 20-25%. This is quite a bit more. Jalen? It's about 40%, or if you did a decimal, maybe 40.3% increase. That's steep. Maybe he was driving a little recklessly. Maybe that was part of the problem. Maybe the police report cited him for reckless driving. So it's not just that you caused an accident, but you did it recklessly. Maybe that's why it went up so much. That's some steep car insurance. Head off hand there, Elaine. Help you stay awake. I know you're tired. Hang in there. All right, questions on car insurance. Do we feel like we could do these kind of problems tomorrow on the test? We understand car insurance. Let's go to home insurance now, and that's what you see in 34 and 35. Read number 34 for us, if you would, Michael.
Steve pays an annual premium of $1,740 for home insurance. How much of How much of each month's mortgage payment goes towards insurance?
Okay, now, remember this, class. You don't pay your premiums to the insurance company for home insurance. You pay them to the bank with your mortgage payment, and they put it in an account called an
Alright.
Savings.
escrow account. Oh, it's been a while. Okay, glad I brought that up. They put it in the escrow account. Joel, looking up this way, sitting up nice and tall, good posture so you stay awake. Questions on that part? We remember that now, right? Okay, so every month he makes a mortgage payment, and a portion of that goes into home insurance all year long. At the end of the year, the bank has to be able to pay how much, class? 1,740, because that's how much the insurance premium is. The bank has to be able to pay that, and they ain't paying it out of the goodness of their heart. They're taking it from Steve every single month. How much every single month is Steve paying with his mortgage to the bank? That's the question. How much of each month's mortgage payment actually goes to insurance, not actually to the house? And Elaine, what you got?
145.
145 bucks. How do we get that? Elaine?
Divided by 12.
Just divide by 12. Easy enough. You see there's a lot of times 12, a lot of divided by 12. When it goes from month to year, year to month. Okay, Michael, question?
Can you explain like the what like we just did, because I didn't really get it.
Okay. You buy a house. You pay the bank money to live in your house, in their house. Their house, not yours, but you call it yours. It's their house. You pay them. When you pay them, you don't just pay them for the house. You pay interest. You pay property taxes, not to the government, but to them. You pay your insurance premiums, not just to the bank, or not to the insurance company, but to them. They pay it. Well, they have to know ahead of time what your insurance rate is. So if they know your insurance rate is $1,740 a year, then they're going to say, all right, we need to take $145 every single month. So they put that into your mortgage payment, that you're going to pay that part. So you pay like $800 or $900 to the bank to live in the house. Well, nowadays, it's higher than that if you bought a home recently. But let's go back to the pre-Biden era, where maybe a typical home mortgage was, I don't know, $900, $1,000. Well, a portion of that is actually going toward home insurance. And in this case, it must be 145 bucks. Because by the end of the year, they have to have $1,740 to pay for you. Make sense? Yeah. All right, look at number 35. Read that for us if you would, Joel.
Steve's home insurance policy has a $1,000 deductible. If his house sustains $2,194 worth of damages, how much will the insurance pay on his behalf?
All right, something bad happens to the house. We don't know what it is, but the repairs are going to cost $2,194. That's what home insurance is for, to help out with that, right? But is the bank going to pay $2,194, class? No, because Steve has to pay what first? The deductible. What's his deductible? $1,000, $1,000. So at your seats, how much will insurance actually shell out? How much is the insurance going to pay? Ben's got it?
$1,194.
How many got $1,194? Pretty easy math there, yes? Good to go on home insurance. Good refresher? All right, let's refresh memory on life insurance. Look at number 36. Mr. Matthews pays $24.73 each month for life insurance. Now, he's got a $750,000 policy. His policy is for a 15-year term. How much will he pay if he lives to the end of his term? If he survives all 15 years, never dies, how much will he end up paying for this insurance? Match seats. $24.73 a month for 15 years. What is his total premium when it's all said and done? And Jalen, what'd you have to do?
Multiply $24.73 by 15.
Wait,
That-
180.
Well, okay, by 12 and then by 15, or by 180 if you want to think of it that way. She said, well, 12 months in a year, 15 years, that's 180 months. So she said, okay, I'll multiply the 24.73 by the 180 months. As long as you multiply by 12 and then by 15 or 180, you're going to get the right answer. How much does he pay?
$4,400. $751.40.
That's not too bad, is it? So if he doesn't die, he's going to pay $4,451.40. How many had that same answer? $4,451.40. Now, number 37, what if just 4 months before the term ends, he dies? Well, you realize, in a way, he saved money by dying early. Okay? It sounds crude. I don't mean to be crap. But you do realize for 4 months, he wasn't paying premiums now, was he? So instead of paying this much, he pays just a little bit less. How would I figure out how much less? Anybody? Subtract what?
4 from 180.
Okay, there we go. We could do this. Instead of paying for 180 months, he only pays for how many months, class? 176 months. And how much does he pay per month?
24.70.
$24.73. So if he dies 4 months before the term expires, and that's the insurance company's favorite scenario there, how much? I could have waited 5 more months. Come on now. We have to pay out. How much will he have paid in premiums now? Corey?
4,442.
There we go. The other way we could have done it is we could have multiplied this by 4 and subtracted it off of that number. And that would have worked as well. Either way works. We're on page 58. The last question says, if he had died 4 months before the end of his term, how much more would the beneficiary have received? Well, how much is the beneficiary going to get, class? $750,000, right? Okay, less taxes and all that nonsense. But let's just say $750,000. That's how much the beneficiary gets. And how much has he paid? $4,352, right? How much more does beneficiary get? What do we have to do? Subtract. And we get a really big number here. Kirsten?
I don't have a calculator.
No calculator. We're almost done. What you got, Corey? Oh, don't clear the calculator, Elaine.
$745,647.52.
There we go. $745,647.52 more. Let's take a look at number 39. Health insurance. Miss Franklin pays $117 a month for health insurance through her employer. How much does she pay each year? Class, what do we have to do?
Multiply.
Times 12. There we go. Let's move on. The answer, by the way, is $1,404. Go to number 40, because we're running out of time. Miss Franklin's last doctor visit cost $410. Insurance company negotiated the price down to $180. Mrs. Franklin's co-payment is $25. Notice the co-payment is a set amount of money. How much did insurance pay? Well, what's the price for this doctor visit, class?
$180.
Good. Not the $400, whatever that was. The price is $180, because that's what it was negotiated down to. And Mrs. Franklin pays how much?
$25.
So that means insurance has to pay the rest of it, right? So what do we do?
Subtract.
What'd you get?
155.
Does everyone see that the $410 number is not valid there? It doesn't matter. Insurance negotiated it down anyway. We're basing off the 180 number. We all good? All right, last one. Stay with me through the bell. Ms. Bird had an MRI done. A couple $1,000 to diagnose a medical situation. Now, she got prior authorization from the health insurance company, so it was covered. Okay, sometimes you have to get prior authorization for them to actually cover it. She called them. They said, sure, we'll cover it, so it's covered. Her deductible is $1,200, and she pays 20% co-insurance. Now, remember, class, co-insurance kicks in after the deductible. So what do we have to do?
Subtract
Subtract the $1,200. So it's a $2,085 surgery, or MRI, imaging, but she ain't paying 20% of that. She's going to pay 20% of...
$2,085.
No, she's not paying 20% of $2,085.
$885.
$885.
Yeah.
We have to subtract the deductible first. The 12, it was $1,200, right? Yeah. We have to subtract the $1,200. There's $885 left that have to be paid. She's going to pay 20% of that. So what is The co-insurance.
177.
$177. Now, here's the question. How much did she pay for the MRI? It's not $177, is it, class? That's just the co-insurance. Joel?
$1,062.
Ooh, careful. She pays both the deductible and her co-insurance. So we have to do what with them?
Add them
There we
together.
go. Add them together. You subtract it, and we add them, and what do we get, Joel?
$1,377.
There we go. She pays $1,377 for her MRI. All right. Now, I did not do 42 to 50 with you. Okay, just time constraints. That stuff we've done much more recently, so I feel like we should be good on those anyway. I am, however, going to record a video after school and put it on YouTube. So if you're like, I'd like a little more help, I'm just going to record a video of just me quickly going over those problems. So if you wanted to work them and then check the YouTube channel, see if you got the right answers, you can do that. There's no homework other than study. Know your stuff for the test tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day. You are dismissed.